claims her house guest accepted collect calls in her home without permission. She's suing Pamela Jones in the amount of $702.50. Ms. Jones admits to accepting the collect calls, but she claims she had a very good reason to do so.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties have been sworn, Your Honor.
Sir, get up at his office. This case is very interesting to me. I want to start with you, Mom, Miss Robinson. Let's talk about your son.
Okay, my son's name is Rodney Robinson.
Yes.
I feel really sad to say that he's been incarcerated for an armed robbery that he committed approximately 9 months ago.
And how old is he?
28 years old.
And what were the circumstances as to how he got caught up, if you will?
He and a few of his friends decided in the middle of the day to rob a convenience store.
I take it this was not the first time there had been an issue with him.
It's my understanding it's the very first time, per Rodney.
Okay. And that's unusual for a 28-year-old out of the blue. What was he doing before that?
Not much of anything, to be honest with you.
That
you know,
makes
hanging
sense.
out around the way and just
Did he
hanging
work?
out. Not at all.
Did he go to school?
Not at all.
Okay.
Didn't make it out of high school.
But he was capable of producing a child.
Absolutely.
And that's where you come in. What's the story? What's going on with Rodney?
He did not commit a robbery. He was actually in his car, or in his friend's car rather, sitting outside of the store
Were you
waiting
there?
for his friends to come out. No, that's what he told me.
Did he plead to the charge, or was there a jury trial that convicted
Well,
him?
he pled to the charges based on the fact that he did not want to spend 20 or so years locked away.
How old is your child?
Our son together is 9.
And when you met him, you said, this guy has potential.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, he was
I
very...
get that.
Yeah,
10 years later, you're able to ascertain if your observation was spot on. Because if you give somebody 10 years and 10 years later, you're still saying, yeah, they got potential and they're not necessarily working regularly and they're not going to school.
Judge, with all due respect, we've never lived on the street. I've never been homeless. I've never seen him do drugs. He's not a drunkard or anything like that.
Fair
He's not
enough.
a violent
Did the two
person.
of you live together?
They
He
lived
came
with
to-
me.
We've only lived with you, Martha, for about two and a half years.
That is correct.
Well, that's 2.5 years too long.
Well, we help her.
Okay.
It's not as if she carries this
Well, when you say
financial
we,
burden.
what was Rodney doing to help his mom?
Well, what Rodney does is he works independently. He works with one friend who has a construction company who he assists on various jobs
Let
for
me put it
housing.
this way. What type of work do you do?
Well, I work part-time in retail.
Okay.
But I'm also a full-time student, and I'm going to school to be a medical assistant.
Okay. See, Rodney has good taste. You, I don't know.
Thank you.
That's
And
your
I-
son, though.
Well, and only a mother could say that.
Thank you. That's why I don't want him, Jamel, to have any connection with his father at this point.
Jamel has a great relationship
Well, wait a minute. Let's go
with
back.
his father.
You don't want your grandson to have any connection with his father.
I don't think it's a healthy thing to have my 9-year-old grandson deal with a child who has lied to me. When he was incarcerated for 5 months, I looked my son in the eye and asked him, "Are you innocent, baby?" And he told me 3 times, "Mommy, I'm innocent."
Coming up on
And the issue here is you keep using the phone and racking up all these collect
I
call
help her pay
charges.
these
This
bills.
is all
She-
about the well-being of Jamel.
It
Okay,
is
Pamela?
about- is it?
Ladies.
And Your
Is it
Honor,
really?
One at a
Yes,
time.
it
Hold
is.
on. This is not just about this 9-year-old. Because we got several issues going. We got a mother dealing with the pain of raising a male child and seeing him incarcerated. We got a mother who's dealing with the pain of having to raise a child whose father is incarcerated. And the difference is, if you're in your own place and you're preparing and taking care of things that need to be taken care of, Make all the collect calls you want. But you can't make it sound like if she says no more collect call charges and you do it anyway in her house,
I mean,
you're being disrespectful to her.
no, her big deal is she doesn't
Stop.
want my son to have a
Stop.
relationship with his father.
Fine. Then you figure out another way of communicating. If she says, do not call him and accept those charges either way in my abode.
Well, we've already done that.
Okay.
And she wants to act as if I'm not there to help
Hold on
her
a
in
moment.
any way.
She has
Pamela, are you
told
crazy?
Ma'am, Miss Robinson, I got this. She has told you, this is my house. Do not make those calls.
I don't make any calls, I receive them.
Okay. When I said Rodney made a smart choice in you, I'm gonna have to dial that back a little bit.
I take that as an insult. And you can say what you want, but she's aware
Ma'am,
of what I do for her
Let
household.
me just make sure I am perfectly clear.
Martha, can you handle your household on your own?
Ma'am,
No.
you don't get to ask the questions up in here.
Let her answer.
Ma'am, now you're trying my patience. Because you can ignore her, but that's not gonna fly up in here.
You sound like the 12 people that were in the jury.
Ma'am,
You're making assumptions.
ma'am,
Pamela.
you got a smart mouth. I am insulting you because you clearly don't understand RESPECT. This woman is saying, don't use the phone. You're saying, I'm gonna do it anyway. You come here
That's
and
not
you
what
think
I'm
you're
saying.
gonna step to
That's
me?
not what I'm saying.
Do
I'm saying,
you hear what I'm saying?
And I'm saying it's important that
I
Janelle
don't
has a
care
relationship
what you're
with
saying.
him,
I'm saying to
obviously.
you that your position has no merit.
That's
if
what
you
you
want
say.
to use the call
Well,
or
I'm
the
not going
phone,
to have
you're
a
not
young
gonna
black
talk to me
child
here because
raised
you're gonna
without
lose.
his father.
So we can keep going
That's
back
a
and forth,
contradiction.
and what it's going to come down to
You're
is
contradicting yourself.
Sit down.
In front of the court.
fair enough. You're out.
Let's go, ma'am. You're out of here.
Now say something.
Let's go.
Rodney didn't do it.
Out.
She started off really well, but now I understand what you're dealing with, and I understand you're thinking about Jamel.
Right.
Sometimes you got to exercise some tough love. And I know some people think it's a good idea for kids to go visit jails and see their loved ones. I don't know if they really understand the psychological impact of seeing your loved one locked up. It's hard for adults. So to walk a 9-year-old to a jail, to know that you're talking to your daddy on the phone and he's in jail, you're going to have to move her out. Yesterday. You're going to have to do it. You can continue to have a relationship with your grandson, but she's got to go.
But my grandson, Judge. I got to protect my grandson.
You're in a tough position. I understand. Based on the evidence before this court, the gavel will come down in favor of the plaintiff, Ms. Robinson. We will make sure you get the $702.50, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your
Case
Honor.
closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $702.50.